All sports, all plays. Yeah. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making a plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. Hitting the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays.
All right, what's happening, everybody? Welcome to Easy Money, a sports betting show, Wednesday, August 9th, 2023. I'm Chris Gonzalez, joined by Tony Gonzalez. How's it going?
Well, going pretty decent, not too bad.
Yeah, going pretty good today so far. Hopefully the Reds can hold on and win this game, win this series after we lost a game yesterday that we could have won.
Yep, most
Had a
definitely.
good chance of sweeping the series, but a 4-1 lead, top of the eighth. We got to settle down on our base running a little bit. We're Ellie Deli Cruz is bringing a few too many outs, just trying to. The pickoff play that just happened don't bother me as much as the inning or two ago where he got a base hit and tried to stretch it to a double.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, Chris, I've seen him get thrown out. Of course, I watch a lot of the Reds games. You probably watch a little bit more than I do. I can count probably 10 times I've seen him get thrown out this year.
oh yeah,
I know he's probably the fastest guy in baseball, but he got to be a little smarter. But he's young. He's what, like 20 years old, 21 years old, something like that. So he's young. That'll develop. So I'm not real worried. But I mean, hopefully he'll settle down some, especially if we make the playoffs, because everything's going to really count.
yeah.
Every mistake will really add up on you in the playoffs, especially.
Well, like on the pickoff a minute ago, he went on the first move, which is fine, but he should have just kept going because I think if he had just kept going hard, it would have been close at second. He might have had a chance because
the throw wasn't a great throw back to him. He would have had a chance,
but
he may not have made it still, but would have had a better chance.
But he stopped halfway. But yeah, there's been a few times he's gotten a little too aggressive and it's hurt us, but there's also been times he's been aggressive and it's helped us. So it's just a fine balance. But it seems like here lately he's been hurting us a little more than what it's been helping us.
Yeah. Well, last night it wasn't him. It was another player who ran through the stop sign and it worked out at home plate. But if that had been a better throw, he'd have been out by a mile.
Yeah. But after watching that replay, I think the coach got that stop sign up a little late too.
Yeah,
because he was waving. I think he got it up a little late. But I think that was a little bit on both of them. They lucked out because the throw ended up getting by the catcher a little bit, and he ended up scoring. But
he still blew the game anyway. So,
yeah.
But yeah.
Well, yeah, we did blow the game, that was for sure. I heard a lot of people saying, well, red season was over as soon as they didn't trade for relief pitching. That's our problem. Our bullpen gave up 2 runs yesterday. We lost 3-2. Our bullpen gave up that 1 home run there in the 7th inning or whatever.
2-run homer. Yeah.
You're not going to win the whole lot of baseball games only scoring 2 runs.
No.
So yesterday's loss, I don't put on our bullpen, and your bullpen's not going make it through every game without giving up any runs. There's no bullpen in baseball that hasn't gave up runs this year. Your bullpen's going to give up some runs sometimes. You want them not to? Yes. You don't want nobody to give up runs, but you can't say, okay, our starting pitching only gave up 1 run, so now our bullpen can't give up any. Well, you would like that to happen, but it's not always going to happen.
No. And we picked up,
only scored 2 runs.
Well, you picked up that Maul, and Maul has pitched very well. He hasn't given up anything. I do worry a little bit about, I can't think of his name right now, the guy who gave up the 2 runs. He has a bad habit of walking people with Sims when he first comes in, and he has a habit of giving up some home runs. I worry a little bit about him, but I think our bullpen's going to get stronger. Hopefully everything, all these guys that's going to be coming back are ready to go here in, well, another week or 2. Some of them will start coming back. And so hopefully everything goes well. Again, you didn't want to mortgage the farm and make a bunch of deals. I think the Reds did the right thing.
And my thing with Sims is, did he give up? He gave up that home run, he didn't walk nobody yesterday. That was good. But sometimes my biggest thing with him is the walks. But if you look, there's also been a lot of games he came in and got big strikeouts with bases loaded or 2 runners on base. He's a guy. He's a strikeout pitcher, but didn't with that because he's going to be aggressive trying to get that strikeout. Sometimes he's going to give up home runs because of that. And unfortunately, they got one on them last night, and ended up being the difference in the game. But Reds had opportunities to score runs where we shouldn't have lost that game. We should have had more than 2 runs. I felt now if we'd have scored 4 or 5 runs and then we lost like 6-4 or 6-5, then I'd blame it more on the bullpen, because if you're only scoring 2 runs, it's hard for me to blame it on the bullpen. I mean, because
and the other thing is, Sims came in yesterday for the 3rd day in a row.
Yeah.
I mean, that could have been part of the problem. I don't know. I didn't see why they brought Sims in when they brought him in. That was just my opinion. Of course, I'm not
I agree.
I'm not no major league manager. So,
but I agree with you. But that's how Bell's been all year. He goes with matchups. They had the left hand right hander coming up, so he went to the right hander. It's always about matchups with him, and sometimes he don't go by the feel and how the player has been pitching.
The fans need to be honest with themselves, Chris. I think we are. Who in the right mind coming into the season? Mo just give up a 2-run homer.
3-run homer.
3-run?
Yeah, tie game.
Son of a bitch. We talking good about Mo, and look what happened.
Yeah, he hadn't gave up no runs since he's been with the Reds. He's been pitching good.
Well, I jinxed
4-4.
But who in the right mind thought the Reds would be where they're at right now?
Oh,
nobody. Yeah. Ain't nobody can tell me that they thought the Reds at this point, going into the 2nd week of August, that we would be in the playoff hunt. Nobody. No. So I mean, we need to calm down and hope we can continue to play well and get ourselves in the playoffs. We need to win the series. I thought we was in good shape here to win this series, but now we're back to the drawing board. We're back to tied up.
4-4, top of the 8th.
I think Bell scored all the runs today.
Hey, how's it going, Glenn? Yeah, he's been pitching well, but like I said, you give up now get out of this inning because he had 2 outs. You just need 1 more out.
Well, he didn't start the inning. Another guy put the guys on base.
Yeah, he came in trying to get out of the inning. But
it did not work.
Nope. That's baseball for you. That's the other thing. I don't think some people realize how hard it is to win a baseball game. I mean, you got a guy up there throwing almost 100 miles an hour. Baseball's not an easy sport at all.
Well, it's not the 100 miles an hour. It's the off-speed pitches and everything else involved, man. There's guys that can hit a fastball and can't make it into the league because they can't hit anything else. They never make it.
Well, like I said, it's a game of failure. It's the only sport that you can hit the ball 25% of the time or succeed 25% of the time, be considered good.
Successful.
Yeah.
Average, at least.
So. But do have a couple games going on right now. Get ready. Today's mainly just baseball again. Preseason football kicks back up tomorrow, and then you got a bunch of games Saturday as well. Getting closer and closer to NFL regular season, which I'm looking forward to. And then, but right now you got the Marlins and Reds games, like we just said, games tied 4-4 now, going into the bottom of the 8th. You also have the Rockies and Brewers playing right now, with the Rockies up 4-2 over the Brewers in the bottom of the 4th. Hopefully the Rockies can hold on and win that game, especially if the Reds fall apart and blow this game.
Chris, before we start on that real quick, I had a question for you. I got to thinking about Jonathan Taylor. Do you think part of the reason, some people may have gotten his ear too, but the way Philadelphia ran their running backs, they was kind of a 3 running back team. Do you think he could be worried about that, and that's going to hurt his numbers and everything? Maybe it could be a reason why he wants out to go somewhere else.
I wouldn't think so, just because
he catches the ball so much. Maybe
but just because Philadelphia didn't have a running back that, in my opinion, as good as Jonathan Taylor either.
I'd agree with that.
I mean, Sanders had a great year last year, but if you look at the year before that, he didn't have a real great year. So, I mean, I could be part of it, but I wouldn't think so. Just because, like I said, I think Taylor looks at himself as one of the best running backs in the league, and I think the Colts do too. So I think he was going to be. I think he, especially the way the roster was set up, it wasn't like they had 3 or 4 guys that you would have thought they were going to use a lot. I figured they'd use Moss some, but other than that, you didn't. You know what I mean?
Maybe Jackson.
You have Jackson who carried the ball a little bit last year. Then you have a rookie coming in. So I think he was going to get, or I think, I still think he's going to get most of the carries. I think he's going to end up being part of the team. Now they are bringing in Kareem Hunt today to look at him. If they end up signing him, then that makes me think maybe they might look to get rid of him just because they've just signed 2 guys. But I also think they sign those guys because your number 2 guy Moss broke his arm is going to be out, and all that leaves you with right now is Jackson, who was a rookie last year, and then I'll forget the guy's name. He's a rookie this year, and then depending on what happens with Taylor, I still think Taylor ends up with the Colts this season, and then we'll see what happens from there. But I'd be surprised if they got rid of him this season, just because I don't think there's going to be a whole lot of options to really trade him, especially for a guy that is going to want he wants a contract extension now. You know what I mean? How many of these teams are going to want to pick up running back this late in the season and sign him to another contract? And you're coming off a year last year where you had a decent year, but you didn't have a great year for your standards, and you were hurt. And now supposedly you're missing training camp with still rehabbing that ankle.
Yeah.
So how many people are going to trade for a hurt running back?
Yeah, that's true.
So just the way he's going about it hasn't made a whole lot of sense to me. But I guess he could be telling people I'm not hurt, but then I mean, if you're not hurt and you're just making that up to sit out, that don't make you look good either. So
No.
I mean, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens with that. Next baseball game to start will be the Rangers and Athletics at 3:38. I like the Rangers to win that game. That's not a game I'm going to take today. My first game for today is going to be the Washington Nationals at the Philadelphia Phillies. The Phillies are 1.5 run favorites, -184 on the money line. The Nationals are +154 on the money line. Over-unders at 9 runs. Nationals are 50-64 on the season, 28-30 are on the road. They will have Gore on the mound, who's 6-8 with a 4.34 ERA. Nationals are 4-1 over the last 5 games. They're hitting .259 as a team on the season with a 4.88 team ERA. The Phillies are 62-52 on the season, 31-22 at home. On the mound for the Phillies will be Lorenzen. He is 6-7 with a 3.48 ERA. Phillies are 3-2 over their last 5, hitting 255 as a team on the season with a 4.01 team ERA. I like the Phillies here on the money line over the Nationals. Next game, I like Minnesota Twins at the Detroit Tigers. The Twins are 1.5 run favorites on the road, minus 158 on the money line. The Tigers are plus 134 on the money line. Over-unders at 8.5 runs. Twins are 60-55 on the season, 27-31 on the road. They'll have Ober on the mound. Ober is 6-5 with a 3.21 ERA. The Twins are 4-1 over their last 5 games, hitting .238 as a team on the season with a 3.84 team ERA. The Tigers are 50-63 on the season, 24-33 at home. They will have Fiedo on the mound, who's 2-4 with a 5.80 ERA. Tigers are 2-3 over their last 5, hitting .233 as a team on the season with a 4.50 team ERA. I like the Twins in this game on the money line. I like the Twins money line here. They're the better team than the Tigers. They have the better pitcher on the mound as well. So I'm gonna go with the Twins. Honestly, if the Twins could hit the ball a little better, I think they would have a lot better record than what they have. They have a pretty good pitching staff, but they're only hitting like .238 as a team. Next game for me is going to be the Yankees at the White Sox. Yankees are 1.5 run favorites, minus 118 on the money line. White Sox are plus 100 on the money line. Over and unders at 9 runs. Yankees are 59-55 on the season, 24-27 on the road. Yankees, now they do have a pitcher listed. Earlier they didn't have a pitcher listed, but it's going to be Hamilton. Yankees are 2-3 over their last 5, hitting .232 as a team on the season with a 3.93 team ERA. And that's the same thing with the Yankees. That's what's really been hurting them is their ability to hit the ball. White Sox are 46-49 on the season, 24-30 at home. White Sox will have Clevenger on the mound, who's 4-5 with a 3.72 ERA. White Sox are 3-2 over their last 5, hitting .237 as a team on the season with a 4.60 team ERA. I'm gonna go with the Yankees on the money line in this game. And then my last game for the night: San Francisco Giants at the Los Angeles Angels. The Angels are 1.5 run favorites, minus 142 on the money line. The Giants are plus 120 on the money line. Over under for this game is at 8 runs. Giants are 62-52 on the season, 29-28 on the road. Giants will have Walker on the mound, who's 4-1 with a 2.52 ERA. Giants are 2-3 over the last 5 games, hitting .240 as a team on the season with a 3.87 team ERA. The Angels are 57-58 on the season, 30-28 at home. They will have Ohtani on the mound. He's 9-5 with a 3.32 ERA. Angels are 1-4 over the last 5 games, hitting .255 as a team on the season with a 4.45 team ERA. Angels snapped like a 5 or 6 game losing streak yesterday, but I like the Giants here at the plus 1.5. Giants have been a tough team all season as well. They have a good pitcher on the mound. I think it's going to be another probably close game. I'm going to go with the Giants at the plus 1.5. So my picks for today: Major League Baseball, Twins money line, Phillies money line, Yankees money line, and the Giants at the plus 1.5.
Okay, my parlay picks for the Major League Baseball tonight. I have Minnesota money line at Detroit. I have Tampa Bay money line at St. Louis. I have Philadelphia money line at Washington. I have Boston money line at Kansas City. I got the Yankees money line at the White Sox. And my last one, I got the Dodgers money line at Arizona.
What did Otto do? Strike out?
Yep. Struck out.
He was 3 for 3 today, too. Him and Strand have been the ones that have been hitting the ball the best today. Everyone's at I know Strand has a couple. He has, I think, 3 RBIs today.
Yeah.
A game that we had control of. So you have a few other baseball games today as well, but them are the ones I like the best. Tomorrow, NFL preseason. You have going into the ninth tide. See, tomorrow night you have Houston Texans at the New England Patriots NFL preseason game. The Texans are 3.5-point favorites in that game.
I don't know how they can even do that. But, I mean, because you don't know who's playing.
Yeah. And then you have the Vikings at the Seattle Seahawks tomorrow night as well. That game don't start till 10. And they have the Seahawks as 4.5-point favorites in that game. Then you have games on Friday, games on Saturday, quite a few, 4 or 5 games Friday, and then quite a few games on Saturday. Indianapolis Colts play the Buffalo Bills. Colts are 5-point favorites against the Bills. Think we'd be 5-point favorites against the Bills in the regular season?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I agree with you. I don't know how they come up with it. I don't know how they have any good system at coming up with odds for these games when you don't know. You have no idea really who's playing, how much they're going to play, or any of that things. But like I was telling Mike Hughes earlier today, I do think that there's a chance that you might see some of the starters play more this year in the preseason than we have in the past, just because there's so many teams with new offenses, new offensive coordinators, or a new quarterback coming in to a new offense, that I think you might see some of these guys play a little bit more. Not none of your big stars, but I mean, like I think you might see Aaron Rodgers play a little bit in the preseason just because it's a new team, even though he does know that offense some because he's been with Hackett before. And then like some of your young guys like Anthony Richardson, I think you might see him play more in the preseason than you do some other quarterbacks, just because he doesn't have a whole lot of experience in college. Just trying to get him playing time to get him better. But the bad thing about that is you got to worry about injuries as well. But you can get injured doing anything, so it's going to be interesting to see what some of the game plans of these teams are. I mean, you got like the Panthers it sounds like they're going to probably start Young. Well, if you're going to start him, you would think you'd want him to play some of the
son of a bitch. That was the first pitch by Diaz. Home run.
Oh, Reds down 5-4, top of the ninth. So I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how they do some of that, because like a guy like Young, you want to get him some preseason reps, but he's also you don't want to get him injured, and I worry about him with the size. So it's going to be interesting to see how all that shakes out. I know you do have you have the golf tournament going on. I think it started today, actually. Or no, tomorrow. It starts tomorrow. Today's only Wednesday.
Who do you think the most bet on team to win the Super Bowl right now is?
Most bet on team?
Yep, right now.
Probably the Jets.
Jets, number one.
I was going to say, just because of all the hype around Rodgers and
I was surprised
and
how far
everything.
Kansas City's back. They're sixth, but Philadelphia second, Bengals third, Bears are fourth.
I don't understand that, but there's a lot of people that think Justin Fields is going to have an MVP season this year. MVP type season this year.
That's impossible. I mean, of course. I mean,
Glenn said the Chiefs.
number one right now.
He said Jets probably got good value too. We got the St. Jude Championship for PGA starting tomorrow. Scheffler is the favorite at plus 600. McIlroy at plus 850. John Rahm at plus 850. I like John Rahm at the plus 850. And if I was going to take like a bigger long shot, it would be. Let me see where he's at on here. I looked at it earlier. I'll go with Ricky Fowler at the plus 3,000. That'd be my more of a long shot. But I like John Rahm at the plus 850 for this weekend's PGA tournament. Damian Henry Ruggs got a slap on the wrist. Yeah, I haven't. Son of a bitch. That's gonna be at least a double.
Yep.
Yeah, I haven't looked a whole lot into the Henry Ruggs. I'm assuming that he must probably took a plea or something on that case. Have you heard much about that?
I haven't heard anything.
Like I said,
I didn't watch any of the shows I normally watch because the Reds came on at
okay. I see.
12.
He got
They were supposed to.
okay. I guess Ruggs got sentenced 3 to 10 years. So I'm saying he must have took some kind of a plea.
I don't know if that's a slap on the wrist or not.
Well, I wouldn't call it a slap on the wrist just because I've seen other cases of stuff like this. I know, yeah, it sucks. He killed somebody, drunk driving. It sucks. It's terrible. I don't know how you really come up with what is a fair punishment for something like that when you take somebody's life.
Yeah.
But I've seen other drunk driving accidents and stuff, and honestly, this is that's probably about standard for most of them.
Yeah, I know.
I hate. You know what I mean? I hate that somebody died, but do I think it's long enough? Not personally, but if you just look at some of the other cases that have happened for like drunk driving, a lot of times it seems like that's about what people get. He can be eligible for parole after 3 years.
Okay. And see, I don't know.
See, that might be a little.
See, I don't know. See, I don't know because back in the day, and I don't know how it is now. The way because of the prisons and everything, if you got 10 years, all you'd have to spend was 5 years. So and then you got time off for behavior and stuff like that. So I don't know. I don't know what the laws are now. I just know what they were 20, 30 years ago because I'm familiar with the case. That's all I'll say about that. But, I don't know. I really don't know the laws. Heck, 30 years ago, you could kill 3 or 4 people and it only counted as one. They changed that law. I know that for a fact. That law changed. So you could be charged for each person in the vehicle. It used to not be that way. So, I mean, I don't know.
And I'm just reading up on here, I guess, it says earlier this year, Clark County District Attorney's Office, along with Las Vegas Metropolitan Police and Mothers Against Drunk Driving, lobbied in favor of bills that would increase the penalty for cases similar to Ruggs. Both bills were rejected by the state legislature. So, like I said, they're tough cases, but it sounds like he'll do at least 3 years, and then after that, he could be eligible for parole. So I don't know if the 3 to 10 means as long as he don't get in any trouble, they won't do more than 10. I guess.
Yeah, I don't know.
But so it's gonna fall into that. So I don't know. No, I understand what you're saying, Damien. Damien says, "How's that justice to the family when they will never see them ever again?" I understand what you're saying. It's the way the laws are set up, and I guess they even petitioned to try to get things changed.
If I remember correctly, there's one he going really fast, too.
I think so.
I think he was going real, real fast, but and he was drunk, and there's no excuse for that. And it it is what it is. I don't think he set out to kill anybody, so it's not premeditated. So you're probably not going to see 30 or 40 years on a case like that, just the way it is. But you also should be responsible for getting behind the wheel drunk and then driving like that. So it's a tough situation. And yeah, you're right. If I was part of that family, I'd be upset too. So I'm not, I'm definitely not defending
I'm not defending
drugs
it
in
either.
any way. But I don't think they always look at, I mean, if you're over the limit, whether you're 2.0 or if you was just right at the limit, but on the limit and have an accident, wasn't speeding, killed somebody, I think the laws a lot of times are the same as that too. So I don't know what the right answer is. The right answer is don't drink and drive, but unfortunately, most of society does that. Oh, Billy Buzz says, "Let's make some money tonight."
It'd be nice to do. I've done pretty good on my picture. Oh, I was 3-2 yesterday.
I was 3-2 also.
3-2 on yesterday's picks. Fucking Reds. I thought I was gonna have a pretty good day, but now the Reds are looking like they're going to end up blowing the damn game.
Yep, blow it
again.
Like.
All right. Well, did you have anything else for today?
No, not. Might want to give out your picks again.
Yeah, I'll do that. But other than that, there wasn't a. Like I said, getting ready to get back to the season where there's a lot more games.
Yeah, I know Sami Zayn got a banged up elbow. I don't know what's all going on with that. I don't know what their plans are at this point. I don't think they want him to give up the title, so we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens there. Because Owens banged up too.
He's banged up too.
So, yeah, a lot of it will probably depend on how long. Like if they're going to have to miss some time, how long they'll be going to miss. And that's not the way to start out the bottom of the ninth. But real quick before we get out here, I'll kind of go over my picks again. My picks for Major League Baseball tonight: Twins money line, Phillies money line, Yankees money line, and the Giants at the +1.5. Again, I was 3-2 yesterday on my picks. That put me at 427 and 340 on the year. And then also in golf, I like John Rahm this weekend in the St. Jude tournament, and also Ricky Fowler would be my long shot pick. And just like that, the Reds have 2 outs in the bottom of the ninth, down 5-4 after up 4-1 in the seventh. Yeah. But we appreciate everybody joining us. Join us tomorrow, right around 3:00 for another episode of Easy Money, a sports betting show. Please hit that subscribe button on YouTube at Gonzo Sports Room. Like and follow Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, all at Gonzo Sports Room as well. We're posting information about our upcoming shows. Also, check out the ASAP All Sports All Plays Network, Facebook, YouTube. You can also find them on the ASAP Sports Network app, which is on Roku, Apple. You can find it at the Google Play Store, Amazon, a lot of different places. Go check that out as well. But we appreciate everybody watching. We will see you guys tomorrow. Hope everybody has a great Wednesday.